Hi, thanks. I can't believe I'm standing here, I'll be honest. I'll be trying to turn around sometimes to also see you. I hope I don't get dizzy and fall off. So my name is indeed Alexander Gatsi blah blah blah. It's a little bit of a tricky last name, unless you're Greek. Any Greek people here by any chance? Oh, now I feel really special. Oh, hi. But there are more people that can pronounce my last name here. I have a couple of hobbies. I'm occasionally boulder. I have a way too expensive Magic the Gathering collection. Not expensive enough, thank you, Tis. I'm trying. And I really like to play video games. I play a lot of video games. Maybe the title of the talk gave it away a little bit. I can't believe I get to ask this in a stage like this, but any other gamers sitting here? A lot of people, okay. I'm not going to do that, but anybody that plays more than 20 hours a day, flashbacks to my university days. Let's start with a week. 20 hours a week? 30 hours a week? That's what I tap out. One person, you're the champ. So yeah, it's great. I like playing games. I like making games. I work for a company called J-Driven here in Utrecht, the Netherlands. Or, I mean, I also live in Utrecht. And for the people that live in Utrecht, it's not very inventive, but it gets the job done. And I'm thrilled to be at JSpring. So I'd like to start with an invitation. And that invitation is to, for the next 33 minutes, roughly, forget your desire to learn. Because, frankly, I'm not very good at that. So I will just going to try to have a little bit of fun together, because fun is important, right? So roughly, has to be by now 8 months ago, Unity, a game engine, who has heard of Unity before? Anybody that uses Unity? Anybody that used Unity before they tried to enshittify their whole product? Yeah, so Unity went like full-on, bad guy mode, so to say. Tried all kinds of weird pricing structures. And then I was like, okay, you know, I'm a little bit of a rebel. I'm going to stick it to the man. I'm going to stop using Unity. And but I like making games, so I need to come up with some other game engine to use. Then you have Unreal, you have Godot. You can make one yourself if you're really adventurous. And then around that time, I saw this talk by Trisha and Holly Cummins, which says, and they said, productivity is messing around and having fun, which I agree with this statement. Who here disagrees with this statement by any chance? Oh, one person. But I'd like to talk to you. So, when I heard that, there's only one way to interpret this, right? If you're supposed to be productive and mess around and have fun, we are developers, we're in IDEs every single day, probably. So that means we need to have fun and be able to mess around in our IDE, our integrated development environment. I'm pretty sure that's the only conclusion you can draw from that statement from Trisha and Holly. So that is a little bit what I did. And then I went on an adventure to see, is it possible to make a game engine out of, or make games within my favorite IDE, which is IntelliJ. Who here uses IntelliJ by any chance? So I know there are some people from JetBrains walking around. That is what Monopoly looks like, right? They did a really good job. It's an amazing IDE. Who here uses, let's say, NetBeans? Ooh. Eclipse? Okay. We have a Eclipse user. Okay, now we go to a little bit more fringy things. Vim? The real hardcore people, right? And who uses, by any chance, Notepad++? That is the way to go. So when you start projects like that, I'm a backend engineer. That's what I do every day. So of course, I don't like to make things too easy for myself. So you put in a couple of rules of play. And one of them is I don't want to use the Java Chromium Embedded Framework. It's called JSEF. And what this allows you to do is open up a tool window within IntelliJ, which renders HTML. And actually, a lot of extensions you use nowadays probably do exactly that. They open up a little Chromium browser that renders HTML. Well, that is cheating, of course, in my opinion, because then you can do things like open up a game like this. Anybody knows this game? So it's a little game made by the guys at Pivotal, the people at Pivotal. Right? It's the history of Spring. Being a JSpring, I thought it would be fun to show it. And then you can also do things like this. So it's very easy to basically put on whatever you want with HTML, JavaScript, vast ecosystem. It's very easy to make games and do whatever you want, basically. But that is, in my eyes, cheating. So we won't be doing that. Let me close this. All right. Of course, the game is here now. Performance is a must, right? So no 30 frames per second, no 15 frames per second. Has to run at a crisp 120 frames per second, even though my screen is only 60 hertz. So yeah, you know, whatever. As long as that FPS number is 120, you're happy. And I can, everything you're going to be seeing today, I can show you. Here you can see constant value, FPS is 120. That's all you need. So, and I don't really understand, and this is the part where I start burning bridges, if I ever want to go into the game industry. I don't really understand what the problem is with EA and Activision and those big publishers. If I can hit 120 frames per second in IntelliJ, I'm pretty sure you can do it on an Xbox, on a PlayStation 5, or on a computer. Furthermore, no game libraries, so everything will be written as pure as possible. Popular one is, of course, LGGL, the lightweight Java game library. Anybody used it before? A couple people, great. It's a really cool library. That's the original version of Minecraft was built using this, so it's actually pretty capable. And of course, I mean, if we're going to be in IntelliJ, if we're going to be using our IDE, that means why not use code as assets within the games? Which then I had this idea: if I can make that happen, I can just pull any GitHub project and have a completely different game. And that's what we call procedural content generation, and that is easy money, or so I thought. And this is our stack. Everything is written in Kotlin within the IntelliJ plugin platform. Any Kotlin enthusiasts here? Oh, that's great to see. Any Kotlin haters here, by any chance? No one? I mean, really, give it a try. Kotlin is amazing. Once you go Kotlin, you never go back. And who here knew that IntelliJ was built using Java Swing? Not all. So now everybody here knows IntelliJ is built using Java Swing. Who has used Java Swing before? I feel your pain, every single person. Coming from a game engine like Unity 3D and going to Java Swing, that was an experience, I can tell you that much. And I don't know how JetBrains does it. I don't know why they keep doing it, but it works. So yeah, if it works, why break it? So that is our stack. And with that, let's get started. I have a question for everybody. Which game launched the video game industry? Nailed it. So I figured, I mean, if I'm going to make games, might as well start where it all started with Pong. And then here we go. And you can play a little bit of Pong. Between the lines. So when I made this, there is a critical flaw in my game design. Code is very left-aligned. So there is one side that has a slight disadvantage, you could say, as you can see. So yeah, and this was basically the does this work proof of concept. So is it possible to actually render graphics, do stuff within IntelliJ the way I want to do? And this shows, okay, there are some possibilities, some basic collision detection. We have a render loop. We can move things up and down. That is basically all you need to make a AAA game, right? And then I thought, OK, I like to make games, so I have to come up with a theme and follow up on that theme. So I came up with a theme and a sub-theme. The theme is the cardinal sins of backend development. Who here? Where are the backend developers? I mean, it's a Java conference, I would expect. Any front-end developers by any chance? Great. Love to see you here. My apologies for any sneers or whatever. That is the main theme, and the sub-theme is Journey Through Time. So a couple years after Pong, there was a game that really pushed people to go to arcade halls and put like the coins in the arcade. Anybody has an idea what that is? Not Donkey Kong. By the way, Nintendo, very litigious. We don't touch that with a 10-foot stick. Huh? Space Invaders, yes. Or I like to say state invaders. Because what is a cardinal sin of backend development? Introducing state, right? Who here likes state in their backend systems? A couple of rebels sitting here. So I figured I should do something considering state. So it's time to abolish the state. And now we have, you can see we have a nice main menu, like back in the day. It's so funny that IntelliJ keeps trying to compile this. And then we can type start, and then we even have cutscenes. So the year was 20, the war was beginning. What happened? Somebody set us up the bomb. So the people that laugh, those are like the original meme lords of the early 2000s, right? The internet pioneers. And there are people here like, is this like some ancient reference I don't get? But yeah, this is one of the first memes I knew, the set us up the bomb. So what's happening underwater is we are scanning the PSI tree in IntelliJ, the so-called program structure interface, for mutable variables in our code base. And then we make the state invaders out of them. And then they're shooting you. I have God mode on for myself. A little disclaimer, because as you will see down the line, I'm horrible at playing my own games. And as you can see, there's chance of production crashing is 54% right now. And the more stateful variables that we destroy, the lower it goes, 31%, keeps going. And of course, if you destroy them all, the chance of your production crashing is, oh, I missed. There we go, 0%. It's that easy. And now you probably think, oh, that's fun, this, whatever. But of course, I go in the code base and delete every single variable that you shot out. Because you really don't want this. And a recurring thing is, I don't care if the project compiles or not. It has to go, and you figure it afterwards, how you solve it, right? And this is all done using, again, the PSI, the program structure interface. That is something that you get for free if you use the IntelliJ plugin platform, which everything is built upon. All right. So now we're going to do a little jump, like 3 to 4 years. And this was like this game was the first system seller. It's supposedly the first game that people flocked to the stores to buy a home system for. Anybody got a clue? Sorry? Well, Atari was one of the systems. What was the game? No. Sorry? Mario, no, again, Nintendo, not with a 10-foot stick. Pac-Man, yes. Or I like to say Pac-Man, because what is another cardinal sin? Well, in front-end development, it's a little bit worse than in back-end, I'll be honest. I know what you all do with npm install. but installing packages without really knowing what you're pulling in, right? You don't know what the dependencies are. You don't know what the transitive dependencies are. You're using all kinds of images in your Docker files, and you don't really know what those images are. And then you even give them root access. See, I sometimes listen to your talks, Brian. Bad, bad, bad. So figured I should do something about that. So what we're going to do is some waka waka waka. So what we're doing now underwater is we're scanning the Gradle file or Maven file, depending which build system you use. We are going through the whole Git history of a project to find out when were packages added in this project. And then we use those packages. So if I start, and then we create a maze. And every single letter in the maze is a letter from your packages. So the more packages you use, the more horrible this maze becomes. And then you see the ghosts strolling around. Of course, those are the Pac-Man ghosts. They'll have some name officially. But in my case, or in this case, they represent the ghosts of our past mistakes because they represent the Git commit where you added the packages. So you can see here, we've got to do something with the AI. So we added LangChain. So we added a logging framework for improved security, Log4j 1.2. Who knows which sound Pac-Man makes? Waka, 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 waka. Yeah, I found out it's kind of copyrighted. So I came up with, I hope, the next best thing.
Java, 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 Java.
Anybody got an idea who this is?
Java, Java,
Thank God, yeah. You get it all. In the end, it wasn't that hard to find a soundbite of him saying Java. I hope he doesn't mind that I turned him into a voice actor in my game. So, what is a little bit... It gets old, doesn't it? What's a little bit, what I didn't think about as well is that, so where the ghosts are placed is completely random. So it can take some time to see if I can find one to eat, or to eat all the mistakes you made in the past. I'm not even sure I'm gonna, oh my. So the maze is solvable, but it looks like the ghosts are all safe, tucked away. And who can guess what happens if I eat one of the ghosts? In reverse commit, reverse force push. Almost, but I do remove the line in the Gradle file that represents that, dependency. And from the looks of it, I'm going all the way the other way. So I'm not going to bore you with me trying to find a ghost to show you. You just have to take me up on my word that that actually happens. And what's also kind of funny is that this is what your code looks like afterwards. All right. So now a little bit in intermezzo, I guess. So whenever I give a session like this, I always have like this feeling that okay, I gotta show an explosion, right? Explosions are cool. You gotta show explosions. I figured. I mean, if I can do all these things with IntelliJ, then I can probably also do an explosion. So then, if you're really frustrated with your code, it doesn't work, this bug just doesn't get fixed, then you can go and. I'm done with it. Get out of here. It was really funny. So I made this, and I showed my team that I work with, and then suddenly I was getting PRs, and the PR was literally just a hole in the code. This is basically what you saw. And I was like, and they were like, yeah, fixed. I was like, yeah, technically the truth. So yeah, it was fun. And I also found out that if I, for example, do something like this, let me stop it. So this is a command line. You can even blow up stuff in your command line. I didn't know there's like a side effect. This is a bug that turned the future very quickly. So if you're running tests and they really don't work, they keep failing, you just blow them up. Test failed. No. And in the early days of video gaming, when you did things with physics and stuff like that, video games would get a bit slower when there were a lot of physics objects to be calculated, right? Who remembers that? You know, games getting slower, etc. Well, that happens here as well. I could fix it, but I'm lazy. So I like to call it, I like to coin the term right now, explosion-driven development. If you blow up something and it goes a little bit slower, then you're just too many letters. You got to spread it out. It's not good enough. All right, so that was the little intermezzo. We're going to continue to early 90s, a game that was quite popular. Anyone got an idea? Donkey Kong? Nintendo? No. We don't. Sorry? Prince of Persia. No, but it's a very similar game. Duke Nukem. You think I would show Duke Nukem here? No. Sonic. Or I like to say Sonic. You know, avoiding all kinds of terms. And Sonic the Test Dog, because what is another, well, let's say heated debate in our in our field, that is testing, right? Unit testing. Is it when is it too many? When is it too few? What are unit tests? Do I want unit tests? TDD, you know? So I figured I should probably do something with that. All right, so let me open this. And then we can go to, we gotta go fast. Here we go. In this case, we've got to type, we love Scrum to start. There we go. And now we have a full-on opening cinematic. It's like you're watching at one of the newest games that just came out a couple of days ago, huh? So we have the big bad, Dr. Velocitnik, that says that he has stolen all our unit tests, he has spread them through the code base. Bad. However, how are you ever going to reach your sprint goals if you can't actually, unit test and make sure, or have the confidence that whatever you're shipping is actually works. But of course, like in every evil genius, he will give us a chance to ruin his plans, and he's telling us he's hiding in a certain class or file. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a little platformer through the whole code base and trying to find the boss and find our unit tests back. Here we go. And every coin that you see represents a unit test. So I scan the code base, I find the unit tests, and every single coin represents a unit test. So we can pick them up, and the more coins we have, the easier the final boss will become. Doesn't really matter. I have God mode anyway, but And if you get hit, you lose your coins, unfortunately, which, of course, means losing your unit test. And that will teach developers to appreciate the unit tests. If you're able to lose them so easily, and then we can go like this, here a bit. So after I made this, I realized Mario would have been better if Nintendo wasn't so litigious, because Sonic is a very horizontal game, right? You go from left to right, and the whole idea is that you go as fast as possible. But there are not a lot of horizontal programming languages out there to do that. So if anybody wants to make that, and then we can go to a reference and see if I can make the jump. And because it's a portal to main.java. Okay. No, oh my God. I told you I was bad at my own games. Okay. There we go. And then you go to where that method is invocated in the other class. So like that. So why click through your whole code base if you can game your way through the code base, right? And, well, of course, I have a speed hack, so we can go to the final boss here. And you can see he's here. And then he's a full-on boss with all kinds of animations, and here is the kill animation. And you can kill him, and you can get your unit tests back. Or, I mean, you could, but I don't like giving things back, so you lose them forever. And I gave this talk a couple of months ago, and somebody shouted, "Force push it!" Some people really don't like unit tests, huh? So we're going to take quite a time skip now. Who here, we're all programmers. We can type blind, right? We don't need to look at the keyboard. Who here can type blind? OK. Who here thinks they can type pretty fast? All right. Remember you raised your hand. I've seen you. Because now we're going to Code Hero. Or Guitar Hero for the ones that know this, right? Guitar Hero. There is a plague going through our industry right now. And that is copy-pasting without really knowing what you're copy-pasting, right? And with the rise of AI, agents, we called it vibe coding, but it's just, you just paste things, you have the agents paste things in your code base, and you're like, yeah, if it doesn't work, I'll just ask him to do it again, and then see what happens. So I figured, OK, I should make something. If you try to copy-paste something into your code base, you'll have to type it letter by letter, just to make sure you really know what you're pasting in your code base. And what's more fun to do it on the beat of a music, right? People are like, so let me go over here. So now we can go to the Code Hero. And I can grab this dummy class here and try to paste it over here. Paste action detected. Time to prove you're a real code rock star, so you can also post it in LinkedIn afterwards if you want. So we pasted a low amount of text, so we're getting an easy song. All right. Oh my God. There we go. And then you can, and there it's pasted. So yeah, as you can see, I think this is the way to go when it gets with agents and AI and whatever. Oh. All right. So of course, this was an easy song. So the more you try to paste, the trickier the song gets. I'm a little bit of a metalhead myself. Any other metalheads here? Any chance? Great. So the people that said that they can type fast, anybody wants to give it a try? No? Ah. Sorry? Does it matter? I'll start, and maybe somebody gets the courage to do the last song. So this is a little bit more text. Go here. Again, paste action detected. Time to prove a real code rock star. Medium amount of text. All right.
Stand up all the night and call the fight. Let your man go out before the light. Here we come, the army of the night. Line up side by side and bound to praise and to.
You get the idea. Thank you. But in Guitar Hero history, there is one song, Through the Fire and the Flames. That one is known. So if you paste a lot of things, all right, then you really need to prove that you know what you're doing on a quite, let's say, fast pace. Anybody that finished Through the Fire and the Flames or Guitar Hero 3 on Expert? Really? So, good thing about this song, at least it starts with a long intro. I don't know, personally, I do think it will increase productivity if that is how you can. So, of course, I have a lot of feature requests for JetBrains. If there's anything you want to take a picture of and tweet, toot, TikTok, I don't know, out in the internet, take a picture of this, tag JetBrains, like, hey, I think this is what you should be doing with your time. No AI push or whatever. Make sure people can, add PNGs, GIFs, things like that. Very important. One is a really pet peeve of mine. Every time I see it, I get a little bit frustrated, to be honest. So they have this class, GB color, and then it is like a wrapper around classes. Like there are JetBrains approved colors. And if you want the red, and if you want a little bit darker, you have to press darker. And if you want darker than that, you have to do darker. And if you want darker, darker. If you want darker, darker. And like, oh, I don't know. I feel we have the technology to do this differently. All right. Yeah, one last thing. This was fun. It was really fun for me to work on this, to experiment with this. To go to my team every week, showing them what I made. They were giving me ideas, feeding me ideas, and we were talking about it. Coding is your superpower. We're with a lot of people here, so people might forget it. But relatively speaking, there are not a lot of programmers out in the world. And if you think what we can do with just a screen and a keyboard, it's kind of insane, right? So coding is your superpower. I implore you, don't use it wisely. Go out there, make whatever you want. It doesn't have to be a $1 trillion business SaaS idea or whatever. If it's fun, if it brings a smile on your face, it's worth the time. I can really attest to that. Really, the amount of fun I had with this is unparalleled. So experiment around. Every crazy idea is fun. Most importantly, have fun. Hopefully, maybe next year, I'll be sitting there and one of you will be standing here showing how they turned Postgres into a game engine or something. I don't know. So, can IntelliJ be used as a game engine? Who here thinks, yes, it can? Oh, yeah, I convinced a couple of people. Who here thinks, no way, Jose, what are you even doing? Thank you very much. Who here thinks it depends? Right? So yeah, I do think it is a whole new business for JetBrains. So if anybody from JetBrains here, take notes for free. So there's, with that, there is one last visibility check before I let you go enjoy the rest of the conference, the rest of the cool talks. Anybody got a clue what that could be? Can it run Doom? Yeah. Who here thinks that, yes, you can run Doom in IntelliJ? You're like, yeah, after what I've seen. Who here thinks, probably not? Conservative. But yeah, of course, if I could do everything else I did, you can run Doom in IntelliJ right on top of your code. You can even give it a little bit of transparency if you want. Wow, OK. It's a bloody game if you think about it, but you know, it was fun back in the day. Oh, I should probably stop it. So yeah, with that, thank you very much for watching.
All right, Alex. I know that this is a thing that's actually on GitHub, and you accept pull requests, right?
Wow, I mean, you can do pull requests. So the code of everything I did can be found on GitHub. If for some reason you want to see it. And at JFall, when I gave this talk, people asked me, hey, can you please release the games as a plugin so we can download it? That was a lot of work, so I didn't do that. But I did make the explosion. If you want, you can download it there, and you can explode your own code.
And it actually worked. We tested it yes. on a speaker trip yes. Last February, that it works properly on both Windows and Mac. So yes. Thank you for that. I'm using it on a daily basis. One big hand for Alex, please.